saying I don't think that I don't know. It's energy and I don't on the road. Glad if you see people come together, all of we equal, tell them run now. Hug up your friend and run now. All who believe in love now. Looking at the stand and already, boy. It's like everybody in here is family. So as I get so to play, make you run up in the air. And then up in the air. Rock them up in the air. Everything in the air. Look my friend and I, we jumping up, boy. It's on the love, boy. I'm feeling like I ain't the blood. We jumping up, boy. It's on the love, boy. I'm feeling like I ain't the blood. They could say what they want to say. We ain't going away. They all that we need, yeah. Under all the problems we face, they's the greatest place. And if you agree with me, then you know. It's just saying I don't think that I won't know. It's energy and I don't on the road. On the road. Glad if you see people come together, all of we equal, tell them run now. Hug up your friend and run now. All who believe in love now. Looking at the stand and already, boy. It's like everybody in here is family. So as I get so to play, make to one up in the air. And them up in the air. Rock them up in the air. Everything in the air. Look my friend and them, we jumping up, boy. It's on the love, boy. Feeling like I ain't the blood.
We jumping up. Yeah, it would help if I took off the mute, right? Greetings and salutations, one and all. Welcome to life in a perfect world, if there's such a thing, right? Kicking off the broadcast tonight with the sound of voice. A track called Perfect World. Greetings and salutations, all. How you doing? Welcome to a brand new week right here on the night shift to DJ Kevin Steele. It's Community and Finance Night. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you locked in right now. How you guys doing? I want to say big ups to those who are locked in on all the platforms. Those on TuneIn Radio, on the night shift to DJ Kevin Steele, much love to you. Big ups to those hailing from across the pond, One Harmony Radio, top of the morning to you. Big ups to my family over there in New Jersey. The Motivator, much love to you, my brother. NIE Radio, well representing. Much love to those out of New York, Ireland, worldwide, exhibiting the power of music. China Nicole, big up your status. Yo, Nico, congratulations, youth. Gary, much love. I want to say big ups to those who are locked in on the Foundation Radio Network, ClintonLindsay.com. Big ups, Mr. Lindsay, how you doing? Much love to those on PEMGTV.com. Welcome. All those hailing out of Texas, the massive big over there in Texas, you know. Those on Aluwap Radio, those on Dusik Media Group, and those at the home of the Don and Walker Morning Show, WGLRO, the People Station, taking from the sheets to the streets, touching from Detroit to Denmark and all points in between. Much love, Donnie. Big ups to those on Zeno FM. Much love to the massive on Clubhouse. Yeah, the Clubhouse club is the stew pot. I want to say big ups to all my sponsors. Oh, thanks to those who are locked in right here at the home of the night shift with DJ Kevin Steele. The home of the night shift with DJ Kevin Steele. On time, at home. KevinStew.com, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment.
And if you agree with
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
it's just another thing that I don't know.
Thanks to my sponsors, Pulse Media Group. When being in moment is priceless, give them a call.
Glad if you see people come to
What can they do for you?
tell them run.
Everything you see on KevinStew.com and more.
Even love now. Looking at the stars and already, boy. It's like everybody in here is family.
So you have videos, photos, streaming, advertising. No problem. You want to take care of all of that? They can help you out with it.
Like we carry
You have a wedding, a party, a graduation, a funeral, a seminar, a church service. You want to stream it live on a secure platform, whether yours or theirs? No worries. Give them a call, 754-999-1140. That's 754-999-1140. Thank you, Pulse Media Group. Want to say thank you to Althea and her Healing Heavenly Hands. Althea SU is a licensed massage therapist operating out of Broad County, North Miami-Dade and South Palm Beach counties. She comes to you, bringing her table, her oils, and over 20 years massage therapy experience. Go ahead and give her a call, 954-655-9000. That's 954-655-9000. Schedule your appointment today. She only has one request outside of paying her, that is. It's called the Kevin Stew Clause. That is simply get off her table and go sleep somewhere else when she's done. Easy enough, right? It's because I always fall asleep on her table. That's why it's the Kevin Stew Clause. I want to say thank you to Reggae Global Entertainment. Reggae Global act as your booking agents, handle your tour management, take care of your business registration, legal service referrals, music production, marketing and promotion, and so much more. Give them a call, 954-804-8199. Or check them out at reggaeglobal.com. Tell them you heard about them on the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. Thank you to McNeil Trucking. With McNeil Trucking, your goods are in good hands. They're licensed and insured movers in the state of Florida. Go ahead and give them a call, 954-406-9740. You want to move from here to there, put some things in storage. Don't have the manpower, don't have the equipment, don't have the transportation, no worries. You have the phone number, 954-406-9740. Call up McNeil Trucking. Let them know you're ready to move and you need their help. Tell them you heard about them on the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. I just call my name, just say Kevin Stew sent you. Numbers to call, numbers to text tonight is the same as always. 773-789-STEW. At 773-789-7839. You can call, text, WhatsApp, Telegram. You have no excuse. Wherever you are in the world, you can call in and put in your 2 cents. I'll gladly accept your 2 cents. They're very valuable over here. So 773-789-STEW. 773-789-7839. I'll tell you one more time. 773-789-7839. I want to say big ups to those who are locked in on YouTube Live also. Listen, the way to watch this broadcast is just simply go to kevinstew.com. There are a few screens you can watch down right there. Yeah, there's a new player that we put on. There's a backup player through YouTube Live that we have on. Yeah, we're still running a little bit of tests here and there. And although we want it to be a perfect world, we know that it's not that perfect. So big question for tonight. Are we in a recession? That's a big question. But if you want to go about answering that question, you need to ask a few questions. Few other questions, like what is a recession? You know, if you don't have the answer to that question, first off, then it kind of puts you in a position, a ticklish position, even, to figure out whether or not we're going through a recession right now. So, by definition, according to Forbes.com, a recession is a significant decline in economic activity that lasts for months or even years. Experts declare a recession when a nation's economy experiences negative gross domestic product, GDP, rising levels of employment, falling retail sales, and contracting measures of income and manufacturing for an extended period of time. Now, recessions are considered an unavoidable part of the business cycle, or the regular cadence of expansion and contraction that occurs in a nation's economy. So basically, it's growing pains. Yeah? Now, during a recession, the economy struggles, people lose work, companies make fewer sales, and the country's overall economic output declines. The point where the economy falls into a recession depends on a variety of factors. So you don't just get up one day and, as the leader of a country, and say, you know, I declare this moment a recession. There are some key things that need to be in place. Some things that need to be happening, right? In 1974, economist Julius Shiskin came up with a few rules of thumb to define recession. The most popular was 2 consecutive quarters of declining GDP. A healthy economy expands over time. So 2 quarters in a row of contracting output suggests there are serious underlying problems. And this definition of a recession became a common standard over the years. Now, the National Bureau of Economic Research, NBER, is generally recognized as the authority that defines the starting and ending dates of US recessions. How exactly they define the starting point, I'm not too sure. But NBER has its own definition of what constitutes a recession, namely a significant decline in economic activity spread across the economy, lasting more than a few months, normally visible in real GDP, real income, employment, industrial production, and wholesale retail sales. The NBER definition is more flexible than Shiskin's rule for determining what is a recession. Now, for those of you who missed it, NBER is the National Bureau of Economic Research. Okay? So their definition is more flexible than Shiskin's rule for determining what a recession is. For example, the coronavirus could potentially create a W-shaped recession, where the economy falls one quarter, starts to grow, then drops again. And this would not be a recession by Shiskin's rules, but under NBER's, it would. Well, I guess if you're the National Bureau of Economic Research, you know, it puts them in a better position to define it, I guess. I don't know, versus one economist versus a whole research bureau. You know what I mean? Different minds versus one mind. So, what then is the cause of a recession? And here, there are more than one ways for a recession to get started. From a sudden economic shock to fallout from uncontrolled inflation. These phenomena are some of the main drivers of recession. You ready? Economic shock. This is a surprise problem that creates serious financial damage. In the 1970s, OPEC cut off the supply of oil to the US without warning. This caused a recession, not to mention endless lines at gas stations. The coronavirus outbreak, which shut down economies worldwide, is a more recent example of sudden economic shock. Some would argue that we're still suffering from that shock. We haven't quite recovered yet. Now, when businesses or individuals take on too much debt, the cost of servicing the debt can grow to the point where they cannot pay their bills. Many of us have experienced that at some point in time, right? Now, growing debt, defaults, and bankruptcies then capsize the economy. The housing bubble in the mid eights aughts, the mid 2000s, that led to the Great Recession, is a prime example of excessive debt causing a recession. So that's excessive debt. Then, when investing decisions are driven by emotion, when you feel like this is the investment that you should make, yeah, bad economic outcomes are not far behind. Investors can become too optimistic during a strong economy. Former Fed Chair Alan Greenspan famously referred to this tendency as irrational exuberance in describing the outsized gains in the stock market in the late 1990s. Irrational exuberance inflates stock market or real estate bubbles. And when the bubble pops, panic ensues. So you have panic selling, which can crash the market. This is what causes a recession. Then you have too much inflation. Now, inflation is a steady upward trend in prices over time. Inflation is not a bad thing per se, but excessive inflation is a dangerous phenomenon. Central banks control inflation by raising interest rates, and higher interest rates depress economic activity. Out of control inflation was an ongoing problem in the US in the 1970s, and to break the cycle, the Federal Reserve rapidly raised interest rates, which caused a recession. Now, funny thing about interest rates going up and how it affects the cost of living is that you don't have other things that are going up to match. So it's there's no balancing out. Hence, people are holding on to their little bit of money, and recession, right? The spending power is not as strong because the value of a dollar is probably like 75 cents. You're not getting the most out of your dollar. And that's basically what all these examples have thus far reflected. I don't know if you caught on to that or how many people caught on to that. If any of the economists are out there that are listening, feel free to call in 773-789-STEW. You can jump into the Stew Pot on kevinstew.com. If you're wondering what the Stew Pot is, it's what others call a chat room, but because of fancy on kevinstew.com, it is the Stew Pot. It's where we keep things interactive and bubbling. So come on in. You can remain anonymous, or you can put your name so that I know who it is that I'm interacting with. Either way, we only ask that you remain respectful. So go ahead and chime in and share, some of the information that would prove beneficial to all our global listeners. Feel free. The platform is here. Now, while runaway inflation can create a recession, deflation can be even worse. And you would think, all right, so inflation is happening. How bad can things be? So we recognize how bad it is. It's pretty bad. But deflation, we would expect being the negative, being the opposite. Okay, things should be bad now. Seeing all kind of messages, but none relating to the broadcast. Interesting. All right, so while runaway inflation can create a recession, deflation can be worse. And deflation is when prices decline over time, which causes wages to contract, which further depresses prices. And when a deflationary feedback loop gets out of hand, people and businesses stop spending, which undermines the economy. And central banks and economists have few tools to fix the underlying problems that cause deflation. Japan's struggles with deflation throughout most of the 1990s caused a severe recession. So, and this is where I need my economists to chime in, because you have inflation on one side not being good, and you have deflation on the other side also not being good. So where's the balance? Where is the balance in all of this? How do economies manage to strike some type of balance? Another thing that can cause a recession is technological change. New inventions increase productivity and help the economy over the long term. But, they say anything that is too much of anything is not necessarily a good thing. There can be short-term periods of adjustment to technological breakthroughs. In the 19th century, there were waves of labor-saving technological improvements. The Industrial Revolution made entire professions obsolete, sparking recessions and hard times. Today, some economists worry about AI and robots causing the same type of recession by eliminating whole categories of jobs. There was a video that I saw recently where someone walked into a store. It was a gas station. So a gas station with a convenience store attached. And it was open. No one was there. Fully automated gas station and convenience store. You went in, you paid for whatever, you got a code. If it was products from the concession machine, you paid, you got your code, you punched in the code, you got your product. Whether it was a drink or candy or snack, whatever, food, whatever it was, pre-packaged. And you paid for your gas. You went out. Typical, just like paying at the pump. But you go inside and no one is there. You need to use a bathroom. There's a code that you get. You punch in the code, you go use the bathroom, and totally automated. Now, all that is fascinating. And, it says where we're going with technology. Great. The people that used to work at that store, though, at that gas station, what is put in place for them to do when their jobs are taken by machines? And so this is what they're talking about with technology coming in and affecting, excuse me, I do apologize, affecting whole economies. Technological growth, too much of a good thing, can be a bad thing. Now, the business cycle describes the way an economy alternates between periods of expansion and recession. As an economic expansion begins, the economy sees healthy, sustainable growth. Over time, lenders make it easier and less expensive to borrow money, encouraging consumers and businesses to load on debt. Irrational exuberance start to overtake asset prices. As the economic expansion ages, asset values rise more rapidly and debt loads become larger. At a certain point in the cycle, one of the phenomena from the list that we went through derails the economic expansion. The shock burst asset bubbles, crashes the stock market, and make those large debt loads too expensive to maintain. As a result, growth contracts and the economy enters a recession. That's how it happens. But then you have a recession and you have a depression. So what's the difference? Well, they have similar causes. But the overall impact of a depression is much worse. There are greater job losses, higher unemployment, and steeper declines in GDP. Most of all, a depression lasts longer. You're talking about years, not months, years. And it takes more time for the economy to recover. Now, economists do not have a set of defined or fixed measurements to show what counts as a depression. Suffice to say, all the impacts of a depression are deeper and last longer. And in the last century, the US has faced just one depression, the Great Depression. And those wanting to know more about it, can go look it up. Because right now, what we're going to do is take a quick break. But before I do that, let me mention just a few recessions that we've gone through. There was a Gulf War recession that lasted from July 1990 to March 1991. There was the dot-com recession, which lasted from March 2001 to November 2001. Then you had the Great Recession, which lasted from December 2007 to June 2009. The more recently, is the COVID-19 recession. That began in February 2020 and is said to have lasted only 2 months, making it the shortest US recession in history. But has it really ended though? Has it? Makes you wonder, right? I know I'm wondering. But since they said that recession is over, let's see what else we can find out as it relates to recessions. And basically, what it looks like, can anybody benefit from it? What are there any steps that you can take to protect your assets in a recession? Are there assets that you should acquire in a recession? Things that we want to address when we come back from the break. Now, just as some quick reminders as we go through our commercial break, do remember advertising is available on this broadcast and on the kevinstew.com website. So go ahead and use up the phone number, make a contact, 773-789-STEW, and see how you can advertise with us, what's available to you. All right? Also, coming up on Saturday, as usual, it's Rhythms of the Heart. Each and every Saturday at Eats 876. It's a GMAT Music Solutions event. And coming up this Saturday, Lisi Soul performs live. So Saturday the 28th of May, downtown Fort Lauderdale, Eats 876 at 627 South Andrews Avenue. Lisi Soul is our live performer. We have Ultimate Blacks providing music. So come on through. It's Eats 876 Rhythms of the Heart. Now, also, because we don't want to forget about this, men, you know I have a Mary Kay shop, a Mary Kay store. It's virtual, so you can go online and do your shopping. But you don't usually associate male products with Mary Kay. Just know there are some products for men, for your face and your beard care. And there are also fragrances. So visit the Mary Kay store, marykay.com/Kevin Stew, and get one of those products today. There's also this amazing product which balances out your skin, ladies. Well, gentlemen too, because we like having even skin, right? So it's the CC cream, the Mary Kay CC cream, and it has sunscreen, broad spectrum, SPF 15, which helps to protect against UV rays. So go ahead, go on to marykay.com/Kevin Stew and check out the store. And just so that you know, I do put out specials from time to time. So contact me when you do your shopping so that I can apply your discounts. And depending on what you get, it will be automatically applied before the transaction is finalized. All right? Visit the Mary Kay store, marykay.com/Kevin Stew. It's all about the Kevin Stew hands, legs, and feet set, available through marykay.com/Kevin Stew. For the hands, the Satin Hands Pampering Set. The legs get the Mint Bliss Energizing Lotion for feet and legs. But just for feet, there's a limited edition Mary Kay Pedicure Set. Place your order for just $68 until May 30 on marykay.com/Kevin Stew.
Pulse Media Group, innovative streaming and recording, has done it again. A new way to get your business in full view of your neighborhood consumer through AdShare TV. It's available in your neighborhood today. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. Become a host today and place a TV monitor in a strategic location so it's easy to see. Get a 1-minute video ad or longer that plays anywhere in our network. Can't be a host? No problem. For a few dollars, we'll run your 30-second video ad. A host can run announcement specials like buy one get one free or discount ads. Let's turn your flyers into a 30-second video with music or a voiceover, or let us create and run your video ad with a spokesperson. Take advantage of our early enrollment discount. Join us today. Your ad will be seen at least 30 times per day in your AdShare TV neighborhood. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. AdShare TV, part of Pulse Media Group.
Come on, smile. Oh, honey, he's still not smiling.
Maybe he's not a smiler.
Yeah, maybe he's just not a happy baby.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Or maybe he's teething.
Maybe it's just a phase.
Maybe he has autism, and we can definitely do something to help.
Maybe is all you need to find out more about autism. No big, joyful smiles by 6 months is one early sign. Learn the others at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Reggae Global Entertainment presents the brand new self-titled album from Yishka with 9 great songs. Oh, Baby, Let Me Love You.
Oh, baby.
Be Grateful for Life.
Be grateful for life.
Shake You Down.
Girl, I wanna shake you
What else can I do?
What else can I do?
Babe, Come Over.
Baby, come over.
My. It's our time.
It's our time You know I love you.
For your love,
For your love, I would do anything.
I'm falling.
I'm falling in love again.
Yishka. 9 great songs. Available on all streaming platforms.
You sure look good tonight.
Available now.
Hey, I'm representing for DJ Kevin Stew, working on the night shift radio show. Won't go changing like the weather, just to please the devil never. Will DJ Kevin Stew sell his soul? That's a word and honor. It's Christine representing word and honor. Selassie DJ Kevin Stew.
Enough has happened in the past. Fast approaching is a brand new day. Present times are hard and fast. This mass oppression, it must dissipate. The Lord has heard his people's tears. A new day comes with no more fear. Once divided, now unite, a new Haiti in a bright new light. Once divided, now unite, a free world with just sovereign mind. Brokenness was brought within.
The sales of those who's conquering.
Lust and envy, greed and pride. A raw deal and a pack of lies. The Lord has heard his people's tears. A new day comes with no more fear. Once divided, now unite, a new Haiti in a bright new light. Once divided, now unite, a free world with just sovereign might. Preserve through strength and unity. Those who hold on to God's light. Injustice and inequity cease to bring a remedy. Once divided, now unite, a new Haiti in a bright new light. Once divided, now unite, a free world with just sovereign might. Once divided, now unite,
The sound of GIE bringing us back from the break. A track called A New Haiti.
Jehovah's light.
And I guess that's what we end up with every time we go through something like a recession or a depression. We end up having somewhat of a new economy, right? And that's kind of what I'm hoping we'll be working towards, a brand new economy when we get out of this little bit of a slump that we're in. Because let's face it, things are really tight right now in our current economy. You don't find people, well, first, I don't know where people are finding the money to spend to buy certain things, because it's the money isn't there. But somehow the economy is staying afloat. We see the stock market doing some fancy dancing where it is down at one point and it is up at another point, and then you don't really know what, we're doing a seesaw thing. I don't know. So, and this is why I'm looking at this information, because I want some answers. Are we going through a depression? Yes or no? What does this look depression-ish? And even if we are going through a depression or a recession, who benefits when that happens? There was an article back in 2020 in economicshelp.org, and it asked that question, does anyone benefit from a recession? And it goes on to list some people that actually may end up on the better end of the stick. So, who benefits from a slowdown period in economic growth? Well, firms that are offering cheap entertainment top the list. It is said bookmakers and publicans do well in a recession because people like to drown their sorrows with small gambles and getting drunk. Well, I guess they have to drown it out some way. And this may just be an old wives' tale, and is contradicted by studies which show higher life expectancy in a recession. In the 2020 coronavirus recession, it is likely to see a rise in demand for online streaming and online entertainment. And we have seen that. We have experienced that. And it's funny. I have been doing this broadcast since 2010. And I've been doing it just this very way. The only difference is kevinstew.com was born in 2018, December of 2018, I'd like to say. And so this stream ended up having its own home. But this is something that I had been doing from back then when Paul C. Media just got started. And it started as the Music Links. And we would do a Friday night live broadcast streaming, just like you see me here. I'd do a gospel mix at the beginning of the broadcast. I'd be playing music on air. And we would talk about gospel music, where it's been, where it's going, where it's coming from. And that was our Friday night broadcast. Devon hosted it. Excuse me, Devon Hines hosted it. And I produced it. But this is something that is coming from way back then. And what the coronavirus recession did was it made just about everybody recognize that this is something that is needed. And so everybody started doing it. And online entertainment blew up. Excuse me. Now, another group that benefits from a recession would be companies dealing with bankruptcies and loss of income, like pawnbrokers and firms that sell payday loans. People short of cash turn to loan sharks. Now, that pretty much creates a bit of a cycle, because they typically have these high interest rates, right? So, yeah, you get the cash now, you get minimal questions asked, but, and it is the but that causes the problems. So here it is. Now they have these exorbitant interest rates, and you end up in a bit of a cycle. So you kind of rob from Peter to pay Paul, and then the vicious cycle continues. There are firms that sell inferior goods. They also do well. So, where demand rises when income falls, value goods, second-hand stores, some firms like supermarkets will not be adversely affected by the recession. Although people will cut back on luxuries, they will not cut back on food. So supermarkets will still be up there. They will stay. But the others, hey, this is where your second-hand goods store, where your inferior product store, this is where they thrive. It is argued by some economists that a recession can enable the economy to be more productive in the long term. A recession tends to be a shock, and inefficient firms may go out of business, but in recession, new firms can emerge. Joseph Schumpeter called it creative destruction. The idea when some businesses go bust, it allows new innovative firms to start and grow. Good evening, Pat. How you doing? How was your Earth Date weekend? How were the celebrations? Now, it is worth pointing out that in a recession, good, efficient firms can also be forced out of business, purely because of cash shortages and a temporary drop in income. It is not the cause that all firms going out of business are inefficient. Also, the loss of firms mean loss of expertise and loss of knowledge. Falling asset prices can make it cheaper to buy a house. So this makes it good for first-time buyers, and it can help reduce wealth inequity. So it kind of balances things out when you have a failing economy in a recession, right? So another thing that is said that can improve, there can be an increase of in a recession, is life expectancy. Now, studies of Great Depression, the Great Depression, show that life expectancy rose amongst regions with an increase in unemployment. This may seem counterintuitive, but the logic is that those who are unemployed may spend less on alcohol and drugs. So, in turn, leading to better health. They may make fewer car journeys and so less likely to be involved in fatal car accidents. And this was information that was put out by NPR. Low inflation can also be good for people in fixed income, your pensioners. In a recession, the rate of inflation tends to fall, right? And this is because unemployment rises, moderating wage inflation. And also with falling demand, firms respond by cutting prices. Supply and demand, basically the law governing economies. This fall in inflation can benefit those on fixed income or cash savings. It can also help tackle long-term inflationary pressures. For example, the 1980-81 recession helped reduce inflation from the high rates of the 1970s. So it balanced things out. It's like a storm rolling through. You end up having flora in some places that weren't there before. And it cleared out some places that had flora. Some people may look at this as a bad thing, but all in all, there's a bit of a refreshing that takes place. The recession of 1991 occurred after the Lawson boom and double-digit inflation. So it kind of speaks to the nothing lasts forever. And so here it is, you had that bit of inflation, and here came the recession shortly after. Now, is there an efficiency increase? That's a good question. And it has sometimes been argued that a recession forces firms to increase efficiency or go out of business. A recession can accelerate the process of creative destruction, where inefficient firms go out of business but efficient firms thrive. But here's the thing, it's not always the case, and sometimes efficient companies do go under because cash flow isn't there. Comment here. This recession isn't a normal one. There's a change taking shape. The banks are worried, the governments are shaken, the societies are shaken because one thing is taking in effect. One thing to take in effect is blockchain. Yeah, we didn't even we're not even touching on blockchain tonight. And many people don't understand how blockchains work, and this is true. And I probably should go through and explain blockchains one night. I probably should do that. Thank you for that, Pat. And we mentioned this earlier, talking about technological changes that can influence a recession. And so having automation come in and change the industries. So the industrial revolution, with automation coming in, people losing their jobs, causing one bit of a period of recession. Here you have technological changes that are coming in and wiping out whole categories. And so technology is coming into play. And blockchain is one of those things that is woven in to the technological growth of our community. And so we kind of need to understand how that works, the whole cyber currency thing, and then looking at even cybersecurity. Years ago, we had looked into cybersecurity, and if you check in the archives, you'll see I did a broadcast on that. I went and did a little bit of cybersecurity certification myself. And so, these are things that we really should look into. These are things that we need to pay attention to. These are things that we need to become aware of if we're not already, because this is the direction that we're going in. And unless there's a crash in technology, there's no stopping it. And yeah, we will discuss blockchains, but we will look at it, because again, cryptocurrency, blockchains, all these technological changes, the whole concept of smart things, the where we're going with electric vehicles, where we're going with automation. These are things that we really should discuss, because it's happening, and it's kind of like growing up. We go through changes, nobody talks about it, but we're expected to know what is happening. We don't sit with our daughters and say, hey, there are changes that are going to take place. You're going to find your chest grows. You're going to find hair growing under your armpits, on your pubic areas. Boys, you're going to find facial hair growing. Girls, you're going to start having these cycles, these menstrual cycles coming into play. And we just expect everyone to just understand and know that it's going to happen. And nobody sits down and talks about it. But we need to. We really do. These things are coming into play. And thank you for bringing that up, Pat. These things are coming into play and coming into play big time. So let's go ahead and recognize that and learn some more about it. Those are some of the groups that benefit, that stand to grow in a recession. When we come back from the break, we're going to see if we can recognize some investment tools when in a recession. Because nothing lasts forever. So if we're in a recession now, how can we benefit coming out of it? And what can we put in place now that will put us in a better position on the coming out of it when we normalize and things start to boom again? Where do we place our funds in a recession? Where do we invest? And we'll talk about that when we come back from the break. So call your friends, tell your friends, friends of your friends, friends of your enemies, enemies of your friends, and your enemies too, because information is good for everyone. All right? It's a night shift to DJ Kevin Stew, Community and Finance Night, and we're asking a question. Are we in a recession? We'll be right back. Matthew 28:19 says, "Go ye therefore and teach all nations." With this in mind, and encouragement received during a South Florida media conference, The Church Links was birthed. The Church Links is an interdenominational worship service portal for churches, providing the tools to spread the word through technology in a cost-effective way. The Church Links, www.dahchurchlinx.com. Your links to worship and praise.
Making great music is one thing, sharing it with the world, that's another. Let the professionals at Reggae Global Entertainment help you to another level. Specializing in artist management, booking, public relations and marketing, and promotion, Reggae Global Entertainment can help you with event planning, websites, photography, and video production, press releases, legal services, and graphic design. They can even help you with music production, so you can get the sound that you want every time. Call Reggae Global Entertainment at 954-804-8199. That's 804-8199. Or visit them online at reggaeglobalentertainment.com. Teddy Greaves Jr. with 6 brand new songs out now on his brand new EP, Teddy Greaves Jr. with songs you know and love like Can You Stop the Rain? One Last Cry. Can't Get Over You. Wait Too Long. You and I. And One Last Cry, the acoustic version. Teddy Greaves Jr., now available on all major digital platforms. Teddy Greaves Jr.
When being in the moment is priceless, consider the ability to share that moment. If you can video it, you can broadcast it. And Pulse E-Media Group has the tools you need. Weddings, birthdays, funerals, graduations, church services, parties, seminars, you name it. Pulse E-Media Group can provide you with a secure medium controlled by you to broadcast your event. Contact us at www.pulsemediagroup.com for more information. Pulse E-Media Group, when being in the moment is priceless.
Yes. Sakar Mantino, I'm making notes right now. You are locked in to DJ Kevin Stew on the night shift.
I don't know about them, you know. Anybody who tell me that we can't do it, Don't let me go harder.
Here I am, here I am, man on a mission. Yeah. Oh, 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 oh. Man on a mission, yeah. Oh, oh, oh. Here I am. Oh, oh, oh. When the lion is asleep, the jungle mumbles. When the lion is awake, all heads bow, the jungle humbles. We just ordinary people doing extraordinary things. Smallest eyes rock the biggest boat. Yeah. So who said it can't be done? Well, here I am, ready for the test, ready with a class of fans. Yeah, here I am, a man on a mission. Yeah, a man on a mission. I'm a man on a mission. Man on a mission. We still up on the battlefield, still hungry for the belief. If you believe you can achieve it, and when you see, just take it. The world is yours, the world is mine. Let's live our dream, yeah. So who said we can't? It can't be done. Well, here I am, ready for the test, ready with a class of fans. Yeah, here I am, a man on a mission. Yeah, a man on a mission. I'm a man on a mission. Get out the way, get out the way. I'm coming for a slice of the cake. Get out the way, get out the way. I'm coming for a slice of the cake. What you gonna say now? What you gonna do? Ready for the task at hand.
Are you ready for the task at hand? Are you ready with a clasp of hands? Are you a man on a mission? The son of Hezron bringing us back from the break. Track called Man on a Mission.
I'm a man on a mission. Get out the way. I'm coming from a slice of the cake.
So,
Man on a mission.
again, the numbers to call, numbers to text 773-789-STEW, 773-789-7839. As we embark on our mission to spread information near and far. And Pat, you're on a roll tonight. When we're talking about blockchains, I need to have you come on. You need to call in that night. So much information. Pat, you actually need to come on over into the stew pot on kevinstew.com and share some of these comments. I don't mind you doing it on YouTube. Of course, I'm live on YouTube also. But kevinstew.com, the stew pot, is really the place to be. Alright? But there's so much information that you have put out here tonight. But yeah. I can't go through all this. In the real world, too many restrictions have been affecting us, especially people of color in the blockchains will change all of that. Things to look out for, things to talk about, and we're looking at blockchains, and we're gonna do that soon. Yeah, cool. So, in recession, where do we invest? Just before the break, we were looking at who benefits. Who stands to benefit from a recession. But if you want to benefit from a recession, you don't have one of those businesses that can thrive. You're not a loan shark. You don't sell inferior products. You don't do any of that. You don't have a supermarket. So where do you invest? When the market is soaring, it is easy to forget that what goes up can also come down. But economic slowdowns tend to be cyclical, which means another recession is looming somewhere in the future. According to smartasset.com, whether it's fast-paced or fast approaching or still a ways off, it is wise to prepare for the coming of a recession. The way you won't join the panicking stampede out of stocks and into cash. By doing this, you won't have to worry about joining the panicking stampede from stocks into cash. Instead, you'll remember that stocks can perform even during a recession. You just need to know which ones. A financial advisor could help you to build a recession-resistant investing plan. But there are 5 things to be aware of that you can invest in when a recession hits. 1, you want to get your core sector stocks. So during a recession, you might be inclined to give up on stocks altogether, but experts say it's best not to flee equities. Not completely anyway. When the rest of the economy is on shaky ground, there are often a handful of sectors that continue to forge ahead and provide investors with steady returns. So, if you want to isolate yourself during a recession, partly with stocks, consider investing in the healthcare, utilities, and consumer goods sectors. People are still going to spend their money on medical care, household items, electricity, and food, regardless of the state of the economy. And as a result, these stocks tend to do well during busts. Now, bear in mind, they're underperformers during booms. So don't just think that you're just going to sit there and, you don't lay all your eggs in one basket and just leave them there. No, that's not what you do. Then you want to also focus on reliable dividend stocks. Investing in dividend stocks can be a great way to generate passive income. When you're comparing dividend stocks, some experts say it's a good idea to look for companies with low debt to equity ratios and strong balance sheets. If you don't know where to start, you may want to look into dividend aristocrats. These are companies that have increased their dividend payouts for at least 25 consecutive years. So, of course, it requires a little bit of homework, but it can be done. Now, the 2008 housing market collapse was a nightmare for homeowners. However, it turned out to be a boon for some real estate investors. So, the third thing on the list is to consider buying real estate. When a recession hits and home values drop, it may be a buying opportunity for investment properties. If you can rent out a property to reliable tenants, then you'll have a steady stream of income while you ride out the recession. And once real estate values start to rise again, then you can sell as a profit. You see how that works? Now, next on the list is precious metal investments. Now, your precious metals like gold or silver, they tend to perform well during market slowdowns. But since demand for these kinds of commodities often increase during recessions, their prices also go up at that time too. You can invest in precious metals in a few different ways. The most straightforward route is buying coins and bars from a seller or coin dealer. And while this is different than buying a security, it technically is as good as any other option. And that's probably why there's a coin shortage. You notice the coin shortage still is in play today. It's not, I don't think it is because people are afraid of touching coins because of virus transfer. I think it is because of the precious metals. Now, if you're more interested in buying precious metals securities, turn your attention to the the ETFs. These funds are collections of investments within a single industry, which in this case is a precious metal market. And you could also purchase a gold IRA if you're saving specifically for retirement. Lastly, when looking at investment options in a recession, try the mirror. Invest in yourself. If you lose your job and income during a recession, then you can rebound by investing in yourself. You could go back to school, gain an additional knowledge or skill that could help you get a better job. Paying down debt is another option if you worry that your job situation might go south at some point. The less money you have to spend on bills, the less stressed you'll feel during an economic crisis. What is the bottom line here? Well, if you're investing for the long term, a looming recession shouldn't make you panic. You want to offload some investments to take some profits off the table. But for the most part, your strategy should not be to sell when prices are low. You may think you'll get back in when prices have stopped falling, but it's impossible to call a bottom until it has passed. You don't know where the bottom is. Instead, you should hold the positions that you entered as long-term investments. Now, that being said, if you have cash to invest, you may want to consider buying recession-friendly sectors such as consumer staples, utilities, and healthcare. Stocks that have been paying a dividend for many years are also a good choice, since they tend to be long-established companies that can withstand a downturn. Now, how do you go about doing this? How do you get started? If you're not sure how to build a recession-proof portfolio, then speak with a financial advisor. And finding the right advisor can be a little bit tricky. Ask around, do your homework. Recession has the potential to bring serious losses. And that's why an investing plan starts with understanding how much risk you can tolerate. And a lot of people tend to not remember about the risk part. High risk, high returns. And a lot of investors live by that. A lot of gamblers live by that. Some have been successful, some have jumped off the nearest bridge. It's just what has happened. When it comes to investing in yourself, that too can be a little bit tricky because it can be a bit costly. So yes, you're looking to put yourself in a better position when the recession has ended, but you are also potentially putting yourself in debt that you cannot easily recover from. I know of people that are well qualified, but now can't get jobs. And the jobs that are available, they end up, because of their qualifications, end up being overqualified. So where does the struggle end? And that is a little bit of a concern. You know, finding that balance. That's some of the things that I think about. I don't know what you think about. NFT, Patricia. So there's USDT. You have Tether as a stable US coin, and NFT. So Patricia dropping some tips and pointers in the comments on YouTube. Thank you, Pat. Yeah, when it comes to investing in self, it can be a little bit tricky. But it's always well worth it. You should always be investing in yourself. You should always be looking to learn something new. Get a little bit more knowledge on something. Acquire another skill if you can. Because there's always a need for it somewhere. You just have to find who needs your skill. And then start networking. You connect with those people. So you provide for them what they need, so they can provide for you what you need. You have a skill. They have the resources to pay for the skill. The two pieces of the puzzle come together, form a nice bit of tapestry, and boom, you're off to the races. Everybody is happy. They're getting what they want, you're getting what you want, and everybody benefits. But you just have to find where it is that your skill set comes into play and is needed, or even not necessarily needed, but wanted. If you can do that, then you can be off to the races. You can be in position to not succumb to a recession. Have a little bit of an extended musical therapy tonight.
No will, no way.
Kicking it off with Denver Downer.
Topic from the tropics. And if I
A track called No Will, No Way.
keep it clear. You gotta be firm because when there is no will, there is no way. Keep the fire burning cause when there is no will, there is no way. Don't stop, keep moving on. When there is no will, there is no it's way. Never over till you're done. When there is no will, I don't even feel it's right to get up every day with defeat in mind. Good lamps burn hot, give the realest light. Ambition I go come with the realest fight. Oh gosh, and them already try. Can't stop me. Enough of them I go lie. And that's why me keep job by my side. This journey been a heck of a ride. I rock 1,000 miles. Hey, the destination smelling like roses. Me snapshot a better life, no poses. Never fear the enemies, me ready for the foes. Never be defeated, no. Hey, one chance of it to making the most. Pedal to the metal, put the wheels to the road. Life come with a couple bruises, couple blows, but I'll never be defeated, no. You gotta be firm because when there is no will, there is no way. Keep the fire burning cause when there is no will, there is no way. But don't stop, keep moving on. When there is no will, there is no way. It's never over till you're done. When there is no will, there is cause when the times get rough, you feel like you can't make it. Just call upon God, you not even need credit. Unemployment high enough, people can't take it. Things been crazy, read the pandemic. I remember the economy freeze, and people would have killed if you cough or sneeze. Health workers risk life and put the nation at ease. Most people would have planned to postpone them dreams. Yet in the midst of the panic, never sing Titanic. Develop the right habits, help them who don't have it. Even if it's just a bit, get at it. Good things can come from bad now if you really look at it. Oh, look around, on the road to better days you cannot travel alone. Determination gets on me from the comb. Before we dance abroad, we got to do it at home. I mean, you gotta be firm because when there is no will, there is no way. Keep the fire burning cause when there is no will,
what are the most times, yeah. In God with you, yeah.
This is the sound of singing sweet.
Only I know the things we've been through.
Track called Only Jah Know.
Jah know what we go through. Only you know the things we've been through. Jah only you know what we go through. Well, follow me now. Well, the system can be better, too much youth a suffer. So the system going make the youth them tougher. And anyway, the food them a go for. But still we are called ganja. Yeah, the system set away. Seems like there's no get away. We are work every day and I get no pay. Oh my God, please guide us on no way. Only Jah know the things we've been through. Only Jah know all we go through. Only you know the things we've been through. Only you know all we've been through. So they must say that it's an economical crisis. It seems like we are gonna pay the prices. Tell me how you expect we feel live when every day we see you just raise the prices. I'm good thing the youth them a think positive because this would have been a serious thing. And I never thought them not do a thing. We still lost in a change. I know the things we've been through. Only you know all we go through. Only you know the things we've been through. Only you know all we go through. Better do something for them youth, yeah. No one see no more turning a shooter. No me attack to the leader. Better do something for them youth, yeah. Right now, do it right now. System set away, seems like there's no getaway. We are work every day and I get no pay. Oh my job, please guide us this day. Only you know. Me nah go complain. No matter what the people say, me nah go complain. Yeah, I get down on my knees and pray.
The sound of Dale Brown.
Hey,
saying, listen.
Though the system nah go my way,
things not working out, you know, but
work hard.
I'm not gonna complain, cause Jah know.
Success don't come overnight, and
that part.
Don't watch the hype, and enough how we a struggle and enough how we a fight and we can't get a bite. Nah lose hope, nah lose we drive, but nah stop try till we dream come alive. See, that's okay, that's alright, cause my God will step in. Me nah go complain, yeah. No matter what the people say, me nah go complain. Nah go complain. Get down on my knees and pray, me nah go complain. Though the system nah go my way, me nah go complain. I feel work hard every night and day. I was born in the islands, yeah, and now I'm living in a strange land. But I will never ever stray from the original God plan. See, everything have a season, and everything happen for a reason. So trust the Most High, everything alright. One holy faith, me nah go complain. Yeah. No matter what the people say, me nah go complain. I get down on my knees and pray, me nah go complain. Though the system nah go my way, me nah go complain. Work hard every night and day. Listen, see, no matter how hard it may get, don't you lose hope. See, this is the time to know that God is in control. Please don't let go. Me nah go complain. No matter what the people say, me nah go complain. Get down on my knees and pray, me nah go complain. Though the system nah go my way, me nah go complain. Work
God every night and day. Everything that you're doing for us right now and everything that you'll do for us in the future. Take control of this moment, oh God. Have your way and let your perfect will be done. Amen. So make we start with a prayer, yo. The bush a burn, so I don't stop fire now.
This is the sound of Caramanti. We're gonna start with a prayer, aka swap. Come on, start with a prayer.
Make we pray for the demons. Them out a road naked and a pre-man. Purpose mislead distraction. Ultimate life goal conversion. Oh God, make we stay in the word, man. Genesis to the book of Revelation. Me we shield when we encounter Satan. The break we pass out with no last in the Gideon. Mighty one, address every funny girl, every funny man. Clean dirty heart, dirty intention, and deal with the killer way I kill for the wrong. Please bless up every juvenile and every young man. Protect the little girls, give them guidance. Bless up Jamaica, me little island, and bless I and I plus I and I song. Alright, so make we start with a prayer, yo. The bush a burn, so I don't stop fire now. Me and the word come and move, kinda higher now. Spiritual war, up ready, can't tire now. People make we start with a prayer, yo. And if you still a fear, that one, yo. Me and the vice, but Jaja and the power, yo. Spiritual war, up ready, can't tire now. God, give me strength. You alone know what me going up against. Spiritual war, me a fight to the end. And I owe me true, so I owe me defend. I bag a enemy, but me know you are my friend. Standing on me feet, Caramanti no men. The weapon I use is a pad and pen. With that I beat and butter rose them. Alright, me put in the work extend. Push myself to the limit transcend. Way past the borders, the creeks and bends. So me can do your will, uphold my end. No believe, some say God dead. Some a praise man, some a praise themselves. I a praise you, cause I you give me strength. And that's my prayer right now, amen. Alright, so make we start with a prayer, yo. The bush a burn, so I don't stop fire now. Me and the word come and move, kinda higher now. Spiritual war, up ready, can't tire now. People make we start with
It's our musical therapy, a little bit extended tonight. Son of Caramanti, track called Swap. Start with a prayer. And you know, when you start it off good, you're going to end up good. And every day is what?
It's a good day. Ain't nothing gonna stop my stride or broke my vibe. All of that.
This is the sound of Korik.
Already made up my mind that I'm living my best life.
Track called Good Day.
Every day above ground. Cause every day above ground is a good day. Instead of fight and quarrel and complain, give thanks and praise is what you should say. Cause every day above ground is a good day. And every day above ground is a good day. Instead of fight and quarrel and complain, give thanks and praise is what you should say. Cause every day above ground is a good day. Blessings step on me everywhere I go. Just shining sunlight through my window. Him say give thanks for life today, because no one knows tomorrow. So I give thanks, no time for stressing. Every breath I breathe is a blessing. Respect to you, Jah. I'm confessing you're on it. I'm not guessing, cause every day above ground is a good day. Instead of fight and quarrel and complain, give thanks and praise is what you should say. Cause every day above ground is a good day. And every day above ground is a good day. Instead of fight and quarrel and complain, give thanks and praise is what you should say. Cause every day above ground is a good day. Got no time to be hateful. There's so much to be grateful for. You might never have a plate full, but from your living and breathing, stay cheerful and give thanks and learn this lesson. Every breath we breathe is a blessing. Respect to you, Jah. I'm confessing you're on things. I'm not guessing, cause every day above ground is a good day. Instead of fight and quarrel and complain, give thanks and praise is what you should say. Cause every day above ground is a good day. And every day above ground is a good day. Instead of fight and quarrel and complain, give thanks and praise is what you should say. Cause every day above ground is a good day. I'm ready made up my mind that I'm living my best life.
For so long, you and me been finding each other for so long. And the feeling that I feel for you is more than strong, boy. Take Joanna Marie, and it's all about DJ Kevin Stew on the night shift. You're here for some stew? Check out Kevin Stew. For so long, you and me been finding each other for so long, and the feeling that I feel for you.
This is the sound of Joanna Marie. A remake of the Bee Gees hit, I Just Want to Be Your Everything.
I would wait forever for those lips of wine. Build my world around you, darling. This love will shine, boy. Watch it and see. If you give a little more than you asking for, your love will turn the key. I just want to be your everything. Open up the heaven in your heart and let me be the things you are to me, and not some puppet on a string. Oh, if I stay here without you, darling, I will die. I want you laying in the love I have to bring. I'd do anything to be your everything. To be your darling, for so long, you and me been finding each other for so long, and the feeling that I feel for you is more than strong, boy. Take it from me. If you give a little more than you asking for, your love will turn the key. I just wanna be your everything. Open up the heaven in your heart and let me be the things you are to me, and not some puppet on a string. Oh, if I stay here without you, darling, I will die. I want you laying in the love I have to bring. I'd do anything to be your everything. To be your I just wanna be your everything. Open up the heaven in your heart and let me be the things you are to me, and not some puppet on a string.
Oh, I'm wishing that things could be different. Or soon my things will be missing. Ain't gotta say
They're doing very well, Pat.
no words. Though I tried so very hard, God knows it hurts. Just can't find a job. I can't pay my rent. Bills are overdue. No matter what happens, got to push on through.
This is on a Marcia J Ball.
Willing to work for the things that I want.
Track called Wishing.
Up and running, I'm ready to proceed. But life throws you lemons, so you make lemonade.
Best believe.
Life throws you curves, you gotta know how to swerve. So I'm wishing that things could be different. Right now what's saving is missing. I ain't got a cent. I can't find no work, though I try so very hard. God knows it hurts. Got to get a job, can't pay the rent. Bills are overdue, but no matter what happens, I've got to push on through. They say God help those who help themselves, and no one can do for you. You have to do for yourself. I know just wishing won't make a wish come true, but right now I feel like that's all I can do. I'm wishing, all my same things are missing.
Washington. Track called Sing Praises.
All the singing is to my father. I'm ready to do the things he wants me to do. Teaching on the culture to the children. Avoiding the wickedness that men wants to do. Yeah. It's not because of who I am. The love of my father remains so strong. The pure in heart will always be free. Jah will never let you down. The meek and the humble is always around. The forces of evil men will have to flee. Yeah. The days of tribulation will be over. Positively our people will grow. Hot fire burning down the vulture. You can only reap the seed that you sow, yeah. Love and respecting my brothers and sisters. These are the things to make the good vibes flow, yeah. It's not because of who I am. The love of my father remains so strong. The pure in heart will always be free, yeah. Jah will never let you down. The meek and the humble is always around. The forces of evil men will have to flee. And praises to the King. Sing praises to the King of Kings.
You think you bury me and done, but you only planted a seed. Get ready, I'm coming. Get ready, I'm coming.
One more from Hezzy.
You bury me and done, but you only planted a seed.
This one is called Plant a Seed. As we bounce through this McNeil Trucking Musical Therapy segment.
Planted a seed. Get ready, I'm coming. Get ready, I'm coming.
Go summer man, I take it all on my chin.
I take my losses. I take my wins.
You keep standing on my back.
Get up.
Oh my back. You think you bury me and done, but you only planted a seed.
Get ready, I'm coming. Get ready, I'm coming.
You think you got me down under the ground, but you only planted a seed.
Get ready, I'm coming. Get ready, I'm coming.
When you think you when you
planted a seed. Get ready, I'm coming. Get ready, I'm coming.
Come on. You know you can't stop me. I've been living in the groove and loving and me. Think you bury me and die.
Get ready, I'm coming. Get ready, I'm coming.
People are people wherever they may be.
This is the sound of AJ Brown.
Trying to live their lives.
One of the singles from the Third World frontman.
People are people.
This one is called People Are People.
They may go. Whether strangers or someone you know. Every day they strive to make the best of their lives. Yeah. People are people.
for you, courtesy of Denver Downer. This one is called Victorious.
Alright. Don't wanna turn my ideas and my dreams to dust, but that's the fuel that feeds the rush. I've watched some fall and I've seen enough. Turn them backs on the one that's feeding us. Hand in the ear one time, if you got not sleep, never lose hope when the sky looks bleak. Rather stand firm on my own 2 feet. Gonna march to the sound on my own 2 beats. But things did get wicked. Life bowled me for 6 curveball. To the wicked last time I've been ill, stressed out, and that's legit. Bucket near my foot, me just glad me never kick it. From the mind side, the bright side, I have to pick it. Still a dream about a house, white fence, yeah, the picket. Prayer is the key and optimism are the ticket. For ticket problems, ship it up, turn your life from to sit on. Storms and troubled seas, we're always gonna be victorious. And if Jack keeps blessing me, then I'm always gonna be victorious. Let's go. And I've seen it, the power of words and feelings. A thin line between dying and healing. So don't say it if you really don't mean it. And it's so easy to lose sight of your goals while heeding. Toxic family and friends are misleading. Difficult to cut ties without bleeding, no. Hey, both the riches and life we are manifest. Great health plus wealth, I'm a one request. Things hard, all we need is strength to stand the test. And like a phoenix from the fire, rise out of the mess. And if them say we can't do it, try nevertheless. Remember, speak greatness into being, endeavor your best. When things get heavy, never get distressed. Just know the victory hit different when you get distressed. Storms and troubled seas, we're always gonna be victorious. Say it if you mean it. And if Jack keeps blessing me, then I'm always gonna be victorious. Yeah. Through storms and troubled seas, we're always gonna be victorious. If Jack keeps blessing me, then I'm always gonna be victorious.
Good morning, even friends. Here's your friendly announcer. I have serious.
This is the sound of Ed Robinson.
Pass on to everybody.
Reminding us we have love in need of love today.
Say, could mean the world's disaster. Could change your joy and laughter to tears and pain. It's that love in need of love today. Oh, don't delay, send yours in right away. Oh, because hate going round, breaking many hearts. Oh Lord, stop it please, before it's gone too far. Hey. The force of evil plan to make you its possession, and it will if we let it destroy everybody. We all must take precautionary measures. If peace and love you treasure, then hear me when I say that love's in need of love today. Don't delay, send yours in right away. Don't you know that hate's going round, and it's breaking hearts? Oh,
This is on Christina Lee's here. A track called Gold.
Time we find our voice and sing again. Time we remember our power comes from within. Time we bring out the courage of our ancestors, name them, call them, they're with us. Time we find our voice and sing again. It's about time. We know nature's gifts and resources, still we fall slave by taking favors. By time we look round our foreign friends, them take our best work, not even show what we need. Time we find our voice and sing again. It's about time. Come people, make us remember our power within. Who here see the times manifested? Who here see the times repeated? Our time is now, now 'cause we know our worth more than gold. We're worth more than gold. Our time is here, now 'cause we know and see that there's more to what's been told. We're worth more than gold. Can't steal from our heart where gold is abundant. Can't take peace from the crown where righteousness stand on. Still wars keep us divided. False narratives keep lying. Politics and religion keep us blind. My people perish for lack of knowledge, and we swallow whatever the media tells us. Now let us remember where we come from. Let us remember what made us legends. Time we find our voice and sing again. Time we remember our power comes from within. Who here see the times manifested? Who here see the times repeated? Our time is now, now 'cause we know our worth more than gold. We're worth more than gold. Our time is here, now 'cause we know and see that there's more to what's been told. We're worth more than gold. Even when the rain is falling, still my sun will be shining. Happy will be the source that will guide my life to prosperity. No matter when the wind is blowing, I know where I'm going.
This is on Sasha Diaz. Sasha Diaz.
Love is the only energy.
Track is called Gonna Have a Good Day.
Gonna have a good day, a good day. Nothing's gonna take it away. Gonna have the best day, a blessed day. That's how it's gonna play. Gonna have a good day, a good day. Nothing's gonna take it away. Gonna have a nice day, a fine day. Happy is here to stay.
Sasha Diaz reminding us. Why do I call her Diaz? Sasha Diaz reminding us that we're gonna have a good day, right?
Best day, a blessed day. That's how it's gonna play. Gonna have a good
As we bounce on out of here, thank you to McNeil Trucking once again for sponsoring this segment of the broadcast. Thank you to the affiliates One Harmony Radio and IE Radio, Island Worldwide, ClintonLindsay.com, the Foundation Radio Network, Follow Up Radio, Dusic Media Group, and WGLRO, home of the Donnie Walker Morning Show, PEMG TV, Zeno FM. Much love to you all. Do remember to look out for members of your community as we part company today, and remember your community is not just development that you live in, but it spreads far and wide. The people you pass on the bus, on the plane, the boat, or the train, whether you walk, ride, or drive, these are members of your community, so do something good for one of them today, because you never know who's going to do something good for you tomorrow. My name is DJ Kevin Stewart, so I like to do it to you, for you, and with you, and I'll be back with you tomorrow. All being well, healthy love night. Good morning, good afternoon, good day to you wherever you are in the world from right here in South Florida. I bid you all a good night. Take care. Greetings and salutations, one and all. You're invited to tune in to the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. It airs on Mondays with Community and Finance, Tuesdays with Healthy Love, and Wednesdays with Real Talk from 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern Time. Come spend some time interacting in the stew pot where we keep things bubbling and wind down in musical therapy. The Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew is on kevinstew.com, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment.